believe the church is in better condition than it has been at any time in its entire history. My beloved brethren and sisters,
welcome to Once Upon a Mormon,
another testament of religious abuse.
So many have been hurt.
Persecutions may rage, mobs may combine.
Whom shall we go?
Sown in corruption. We need you.
Never again.
Hi everybody and welcome back to another episode of Once Upon a Mormon. I am your host today, Sister May.
Get your own name.
I know, right? I almost said your name. I am joined here with Sister Donna.
Woo.
And Brother Hiram.
Hello, hello.
So I just want to welcome you to a very special episode. So this is our Fast and Testimony meeting on the first Sunday of the month. So to honor this very special day after our sacrament of very strong wine, we will open the floor to faithful members who wish to share their testimonies with the congregation. So before we actually start and jump into it, we just want to start by saying Happy Pride Month to all of our LGBTQA members. We love you. And we are so excited to be sharing this Pride Month with all of you.
Yeah.
And I want to pass the time over to Brother Hiram, who has some news to share with us today.
Okay, so excuse me, I am at the tail end of a pretty nasty flu. So last week, an interesting thing happened. So Elder Bednar, David Bednar of the Quorum of the 12, spoke to the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. And that is the second time a general authority has addressed a press club. And it is the first time it's been done in 22 years. The last person was Gordon B. Hinckley to do that. So quite remarkable. So he answered questions from the public for about 22 minutes. On declining membership in a number of places, Bednar said if you look at the church in an aggregate, it is growing, which is probably just because Mormons have lots of kids. In the climate that we face today, most churches are shrinking, which is newsworthy. So they're trying to bump up their figures a little bit. In fact, Utah's growth of about 34,000 members represents the majority of the 42,000 members that have grown in the past 2 years. So
welcome to Cult Land.
It's all of those 8-year-old fucking Utah kids. What are you talking about?
Their fruit's coming to fruition. So when he was asked about whether he could envision the church allowing LGBTQI plus couples to wed or be sealed in the church, the 69-year-old apostle did not directly respond, but simply restated the faith's position on marriage, that it is between a man and a woman, which is ordained of God. But it is worth noting they've backflipped on a lot of their policies and procedures, like people of colour getting the priesthood. So, yeah, maybe
just
there's hope.
Give it another 10 years and, they'll change their doctrine and they'll say that these other guys were heretics.
I'm sure my fiancé would love to hold out to be married in the temple.
Yeah. It'd just be his favourite thing.
Yeah.
It also, in his prepared remarks, he noted that women comprise the majority and lead the female relief society. That was in response to people questioning whether there would be a female president or females would get the priesthood.
Oh, wow, we get to lead the other females. We have our own club in the church, guys.
We get to have babies.
How special.
Oh my God.
So in closing, he said, all women and all men in our church have responsibilities to teach, minister, and serve our brothers and sisters. Isn't that lovely?
And have children.
So good. Wow. Wow. Oh, it's my turn. Oh, yeah. So also very exciting. So we do record, we try to record a few episodes like in advance because it is hard to get us all together to record.
Because I live in the middle of butt crack nowhere.
Yeah. It's very, very rare that gets to be, oh, shit.
It's fine.
Where's Sister May gets to be with us in the flesh. And anyway, but at the time of recording, we are at over 150 listens to our podcast, which is amazing.
Yay! Round of applause for everybody listening.
Thank you
to
so
all of
much.
our very faithful cult following members.
Yeah, we love you. And as always, if you have any feedback or would really like to share your story, please touch base at onceupon-a-mormon@gmail.com or head over to our Facebook and Instagram pages. Okay, so on today's episode, we would like to welcome our special guest, Sister Zina, to the stand to bear her long-winded and wildly inappropriate testimony. So welcome along, Sister Zina. To start, would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be a part of the Mormon Church?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My parents were actually baptized when I was like, I couldn't even tell you. I was like 8 or 9. They got baptized. I don't know why, because they got baptized and then we never went to church. So,
one of those.
Yeah, I honestly, yeah. I mean, they got the numbers of the baptism, so that's all that counts, right? That's all that matters.
They did all they needed to.
Exactly, they did their job. But so I don't know what happened. And then at 10, I got baptized, but again, we didn't go to church. So
you just got to make sure you're ready for the celestial kingdom.
Yeah.
You just got to go have a nice bath in a weird building.
Yeah. Honestly, I was just like, I guess most kids do this. I'm sure it's normal. Side note, I didn't ask, are we allowed to swear on this podcast or no?
Yes. Yeah.
It's marked as explicit.
Yeah.
But all right, cool. Anyway, so I think I was about 12. It was somewhere between 12 and 14, and because the missionaries would come around every so often because, obviously we're on their list, and they're like, oh, they're, inactive members. So they'd come by, we'd give them dinner, have a nice time, and then be like, all right, see you later. And then never see them again because we
the next one's
still
coming
go to
around.
church. Yeah, well,
Or they get hungry.
Yeah.
exactly. Because my parents were always really nice, and we'd feed them really well because we know that, being a missionary is pretty shit, and they don't get fed.
Amen.
Exactly. So, I think at some point I was a very impressionable young teen, and I had no friends because I am really weird. as Ben and May and Hiram know me in real life, and I was a very weird kid. And well, May didn't know me as a kid, but she knows me now, and I'm very strange. So I had no friends.
That's what I love about you.
Thank you. So I was very strange.
I met you when we were out in the little hillbilly branch.
Oh.
Yeah, I was so young when we met. Like, it was so long ago, I don't even remember how or when we met, but it was long ago.
Baby Zina.
Yeah. But anyway, the point of that is I didn't have friends, and so basically when they said, hey, come along to this thing where you can meet other girls your age, I was like, fuck yes, I'm going to go make some friends. And being...
It's a trap.
Yeah. Exactly. It
Yeah.
really... Oh, my God, it really is, because that was it. That was it for me. After that, I was like, I love these people. They're so nice. I've never met people that are so nice, which now I realize that's pretty fucked up. Like, there's nobody in my life that was just nice. So that's how it sort of came to be. It was like a really weird roller coaster ride of going to church, not going to church. But it was, honestly, it was just to make friends. And then I kind of just got sucked in from there. So it was crazy.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. So you're in the church. You're baptized at 10. So how long were you in the church before you left? Active and non-active.
Yeah, I was like, well, the
actively
first
sort
time.
of like got none.
I guess I did all my years of seminary. So I was in.
Same.
Yeah. And I got 100% attendance most of the time.
Such a good girl.
Sure.
Yeah. So from 14 to probably about 19 was the first time I sort of went inactive, but I wasn't actively leaving the church at that point. when I actively left the church about 3 years ago. So what would that make? Like 25. So from 14 to 25 about.
Okay, so about sort of 10 years.
Disgusting.
19 years wasted.
Oh, literally. But yes, yeah, about that long.
And I guess, after leaving the church, do you still believe in some or a few of those doctrines?
I'm really like, I don't know what I believe anymore, but I know. Yeah, it's like, because I honestly have no fucking clue if I believe in God or whatnot, but anything that was like specifically Mormon, no, I don't believe in any of it. Like, I just think that the church is made up. It's all bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm sort of in that same boat as well. Like, so you still like think that, you know, there might still be a God and maybe there's like a heaven and hell, but you know, all the Mormonizing, all of that stuff is false.
Yeah.
And the roots of J. Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think also it's hard to know because there's so much religious trauma that I don't know if I am just hating on religion because of the trauma or if it's like I just genuinely don't believe in it. So I just haven't had the time to unpack all that, even though it's been like 3 years.
I mean, it's a lot, like, because I think because it is such a high demand religion that, you know, it does really consume your life. And so, trying to like find a sense of what you believe coming out of that, I can relate to that being tricky, and it does take time.
Well, like even for me, like I left the church 7 years ago and I'm only just starting to unpack it now.
Yeah.
Like it's a big, long journey.
Yeah.
Like in some exciting news, on previous episodes, we talked about how I finally took the step to have my records removed.
Yeah.
I got the letter yesterday to confirm.
Exciting.
Thank you. And that's one step that I've taken to process and unpack that trauma, to actually put a stop to it and say, no, you cannot control me anymore.
Yeah. And also, you know, you're taking that record away from the church now, so they can't use you as a number to give out to these press conferences.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about modern day prophets?
Oh, like, so, you know Jesus, right? Like, Jesus.
Yeah, I know that guy.
You know that guy. The guy Jesus, right?
A friend of mine.
Yeah.
Jesus was like a Middle Eastern man, a non-white man.
How dare you?
I know.
With the pictures.
I know. How could I? He was a brown man. Why? Riddle me this. Why the fuck is every single prophet and apostle a white man? There's like one Chinese guy. They're all white Americans and then a German.
Jesus was Jewish.
Yeah.
I've never thought of that before. Oh my god. I mean,
yeah.
Like he's come along and he's like, I love this religion. Like being Jewish, I love it. I'm gonna share this with people, and people are like, you know what?
We like you even better.
You're a good guy. You should be a religion.
Yeah.
maybe the Jews had it right all along.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, to answer that question, no. Modern day prophets.
Mm-hmm.
It's a no from her.
It's a no.
It's a hard no from me. It's like it's really just a power trip. They're like, yeah, I'm like a fucking prophet, bro. Like God talks to me.
So you'll have to listen to everything I say.
Right.
It doesn't matter if that's a fact or an opinion.
So like prove it. But anyway.
So with all of that in mind, what was the point where you kind of decided or felt that, oh shit, like this isn't a place that I want to be and be putting my energy into?
So I guess it was a few things that kind of built up over time. I really just noticed like how people were being treated in the church. The first sort of thing I remember being very angry at was my very close friend. His younger brother was of mission age and he struggled a lot with mental health and chronic fatigue, just lots of issues. And everybody was pushing him so